Welcome to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. Before we get started, I would like to wish my oldest son a very happy birthday. He turned 13 today, and I realize that now I am extremely old because I have a teenager. So happy birthday to him. It's been a great day for him so far. So we are watching all of this drama play out in Texas over this redistricting map. And I want to get to a certain portion of that story here in a little bit. But I think the overall conversation to be had is that Democrats are very scared to count things fairly. They're scared to count votes fairly. They're scared to count districts fairly. They're scared to count the census fairly. And you got to wonder why that is. Or maybe you just know because you have more than two brain cells to rub together. But I was very excited to see early this morning, President Trump posted a pretty big announcement on Truth Social about the U.S. Census. He said, "I have instructed our Department of Commerce to immediately begin work on a new and highly accurate census based on modern day facts and figures, and importantly, using the results and information gained from the presidential election of 2024. People who are in our country illegally will not be counted in the census." Thank you for your attention to this matter. You got to include that. So the upcoming 2030 census is planned to begin in 2026 and continued through 2029. It takes that long, I guess, to go through it all. So this is something that he is going to need to efficiently and expediently change if he wants to affect the next census, which obviously needs to happen because, as President Trump pointed out, as we here on Sara Gonzales Unfiltered have been discussing for a very long time, you have a very huge problem with the current census when it includes illegal aliens. Now, remember, the census dictates how many representatives each district has from each state. That's like kind of the point, right? So if you have California, who all of a sudden has an influx of all of these illegals in places like LA and San Francisco, and I mean, God knows where else, I don't know. I don't go there on purpose. Like, I try my very best not to set foot in California, mostly for that reason. So you've got places like California where all of these illegals are being dumped in these districts. You've got places like New York, same things happening. Places like Chicago, same things happening. What are you recognizing about all of those places? They are, of course, blue, lefty districts who then immediately get more representation because you have illegals that are counted in the census. So according to the Census Bureau, it says the U.S. Census Bureau collects data from all foreign-born who participate in its censuses and surveys, regardless of legal status. Thus, unauthorized migrants are implicitly included in the Census Bureau estimates of the total foreign-born population. Now, the reason for this is because of an interpretation of the 14th Amendment of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution that says representatives shall be apportioned among the several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state. Now, remember, when we talk about these amendments, specifically when it comes to the issue of illegals, specifically when it comes to the issue of birthright citizenship, so any mention of sort of counting the whole number of persons, making sure that we count every single person equally, making sure that every person has equal rights and all of that. Of course, they're referring to slaves in the grand context of everything, in the historical context of these amendments. Same thing with birthright citizenship. The amendment refers to slaves who were recently freed by the 13th Amendment. They're not referring to illegals who cross the border and have children. It's the same thing. It's the same principle here, okay? In fact, the amendment even gave an exception for people not to be counted. It says representatives shall be apportioned among several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed. Oh, okay. Well, they make an exclusion there for a reason. What possible reason do you think that is? Well, of course, they tell us. So obviously the intention, just like with birthright citizenship, obviously the intention in counting a census, in taking a survey to make sure we know how many people live where so that we know which districts get more representation in Congress where they're passing laws that affect everyone. Of course, the founding fathers did not intend for a bunch of illegal aliens who got dumped in here by the Biden administration to all of a sudden have representation. That just was never part of the plan. And when you look at the historical context, it becomes immediately clear. Like, this should not even be controversial. It's not personal. It's just facts. So then you start looking at, well, how many illegals are being counted in the census right now? I mean, you've got a Pew Research survey that the states with the highest illegal population back in 2022, you've got California, 1.8 million illegals, Texas, 1.6 million, Florida, 1.2 million, New York, 650,000. I'm sure it's way more now that Joe Biden has done what he came in intended to do. New Jersey, 475,000, Illinois, 400,000. And then for the remaining states, all 50 states plus DC have at least 25,000 illegal aliens. 30% of the 50 states have illegal populations in the 6 or 7 figures. And remember, guys, this is just what we know. You get a survey and you got to fill it out. And that's part of the information that they use. So that's just what they know. That's just the surveys that are being returned. That's just the people that they know are here. Pew Research has also projected how many congressional seats have been affected by the illegal population, because that's what I'm interested in. How much are they gaming the system already? From 2010 to 2020, several states have increased their seats solely due to illegal aliens. Texas and Florida actually might have gained seats. However, one of those seats is believed to be due to illegals counted in the census, which tells you what? That person in that district they're not going to be voting Republican. So that's no thanks. We can count fairly. You know what? We will remove I don't need that seat if it is only counted because of the illegal population, because we need illegal representation. That's not what we need. I don't need to count. You can take that away. Give it to the actual citizens, the American citizens, the legal people who are here, okay? California, of course, you're going to be not shocked to hear, also gained a seat due to illegal aliens. And then a few states have lost seats. So the graph that you saw, it's a little bit complicated, so I'll just kind of sum it up for you. All right. Congress has a total number of seats, 435, and that never changes. It's divided up according to state population. So you've got highly populated states like Texas and California, they lose a significant portion. Less populated states can have a greater percentage of the total country's population, even if they lose a relatively small number of illegals. So you've got Alabama, Minnesota, Ohio that you see that happen with. When you remove illegal immigrants, that actually increases their total standing for congressional seats because you're taking away all of those illegals from these places, which in turn, what else does that affect when you're talking about how the representation is laid out in Congress? It, of course, affects the Electoral College as well. And I know if the Democrats had their way, they would completely eliminate the Electoral College. I mean, because they haven't liked the way that it's gone. It's bad when it doesn't go their way. It's good when it does go their way. But right now, it's very bad and also racist and probably homophobic. Probably transphobic too, xenophobic, definitely. All the phobics, the Electoral College is. And so when you look at how this affects the Electoral College, these votes are determined by adding the congressional seats with the Senate seats, and fewer congressional seats means less Electoral College representation. So this affects everything. Illegals being counted in the census, a lot of people don't understand. They think that it's just a number. It's just a total number that we have. And we're just like, oh, well, we just have that many people here in this country and that's what it's for. It's of course, it means so much more than that. It matters so much more than that. And every single illegal that is counted in the census for places like even Texas, okay? Even Texas. I don't care if it's Texas, California, Florida, New York. I don't care where it is. Each illegal that is counted in the census dilutes your vote. It dilutes your representation as an actual American citizen, as an actual legal person, a person with legal standing to be here. Every single illegal that is counted means your opinion counts less. That's not okay. And so you have Alabama that's actually sued over the issue of including migrants. Migrants. Isn't that so cute, Stephen? The AP article, Alabama sues over inclusion of migrants in the U.S. Census. I don't think they care about the legal ones. I don't think that's what they're suing over. Of course, they're suing over the illegal immigrants, illegal aliens who are being counted. In 2018, Alabama sued over the loss of a congressional seat, and that seat would have been counted if the illegals were removed from the census. But at the time, Alabama was unable to prove it, and the suit was dropped. Louisiana has done the same thing. They filed a suit back in 2011, but the Supreme Court, unfortunately, ignored it. So cases brought against illegals counted in the census have failed prior to this. My opinion, for reasons not based on the merit of the actual case, but perhaps they didn't have the evidence to back it up. But more data now is actually proving them right. Illegal aliens are affecting our representation, our rule of government. They affect congressional seats. They affect electoral votes. They affect the culture. I mean, they affect so much more than just the United States Census. I mean, you could even see the trickle down to things like housing costs. This is a stain on our entire country. And you have the left continuing to say things like the great oh my God, the great replacement theory is a right-wing nut job conspiracy theory. I mean, I don't know. You tell me why the left is so crazy anytime we talk about things like making sure that only legal people are counted in the census, making sure that we are redistricting all of our maps in our states to account for the latest census, the latest overlay of the state. Why do they get so mad about it? Why do they get so mad when you talk about voter ID? Isn't it interesting when you look at what do all of these things have in common? All of these things have in common how they can take elections from us, how they can steal elections from us. If they can count illegals, they get more representation. Then they get more electoral votes. Then they eventually can just sign illegals up to be able to vote or just have them vote illegally, which of course gives them even more representation because they're cheating and they're stealing and they're lying, which is what they do. So they want to call it a theory. It's actually this is just fact. It's actually happened. It has happened. It's not fiction. It's not a theory. It already has happened in large part thanks to Joe Biden. Thankfully, President Trump is now doing something about it, and I hope that he acts swiftly and quickly, and we can account for all of the wrongs that the left has waged upon this country, or at least just this one. It's going to take much longer to account for all of the wrongs, but we'll start with the topic of illegal immigration and fair representation for American citizens. All right, make sure that you are, hey, you know what? Share the show. Share it with a friend. Share it on social media. Just make sure that you are posting this show, sending it to your friends. Make sure that everyone in the world can watch Sara Gonzales Unfiltered and they don't miss a thing. And then while you're at it, make sure that you are subscribed to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered on YouTube. Make sure to hit the like button, or you can gently tap it. We all appreciate a gentle tapping from time to time, even Steven. And comment. It'll help us in the algorithm, which we know is, stacked against us because we are conservatives. So speaking of that, I do want to thank a new sponsor of the show. This is XXXY Athletics. And this is a brand, this is an athletic brand that is standing up for American values, free speech, and biological reality. You know, we talk a lot about that with our sponsor, Patriot Mobile. They're doing it on the cell phone front. This company, XXXY, is doing it on the athletic brand front. They know, and they are saying this unabashedly. Men don't belong in women's sports. This is not a controversial thing. In fact, 79% of Americans agree, but most people are that's mean. What if someone gets mad at me for saying that? Most people are too afraid to just stand up and say what the truth is. But this brand is actually just doing it. All right. It's making it way easier for you to do too. All you have to do is just wear it. Just support them. XXXY Athletics is the only brand defending free speech and the protection of women's sports. And these clothes are so high quality. When you wear them, you're going to be making a statement that you stand with women and girls. They've got amazing logo tees, premium workout clothes, including leggings, moisture-wicking tops, tanks, tennis dresses, skirts, shorts, more. You no longer have to sacrifice fit, quality, and style to wear your values. So you're not like, oh, okay, I'm going to go with this like crappy brand that I support these values and I want to support the company, but I have to actually give up. I have to give up the integrity of the brand and the integrity of the quality. Don't do that. Just go over to XXXY Athletics. Head to thetruthfits.com. Enter promo code BLAZE20. You're going to get 20% off. That is BLAZE20 for 20% off over at thetruthfits.com. Welcome to the show. First buddy, Matt Marsden, of course, Blaze TV contributor and actor and producer extraordinaire, which you should be following him. Matthew D. Marsden. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel right now. I'll give you some time. Do we still have audio? Do we still have that music? Probably not.
What music?
They were playing the Jeopardy music when you guys were gone and I was waiting on you. You weren't there, so you didn't hear it. Now you know. Yep. So make sure to follow Matthew D. Marsden on YouTube. It's probably copyrighted. It'd probably strike me if we played it. I was going to say, I'll give you a minute. Go ahead.
Is that it? I've never listened to Jeopardy.
Isn't it Jeopardy? Is that Jeopardy? Do 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 do. Yeah.
I still love the one Saturday Night Live version of that is when they have Sean Connery on.
That's
what I said to your mother, Trebek.
That is
great.
One of the classic Saturday Night Live skits before it just all went to shit.
Crap. Just really crap.
We were just talking about, I want to talk about the FBI, but we were just talking about joining ICE.
Yeah.
Matt wants to join.
I do.
There it is. See? We'll give you a chance. Go to Matthew D. Marsden on YouTube. Just hit the subscribe. Go to AmericanBeautyBySarah.com. Go get Southern Belle. That's what I'm wearing right now. If you like this color, you can go get it. Thank you. AmericanBeautyBySarah.com as well. But we were just talking about Matt wants to join ICE. And I was saying, I think maybe I should join too.
I think we should. There was, in the UK, in the Second World War, there was something called the Artists' Rifles, which meant that there was like a little special operations unit, but it was for artists. And they've done this for years and years and years, right? So I think that it should be Sara Gonzales, Matthew Marsden, Dean Cain, Jason Buttrill. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine that?
So good.
Can you imagine getting arrested? By the way, can you imagine getting arrested by Sara Gonzales?
Gonzales.
You would love that.
Oh, I would. Oh, are you kidding? I live for that. I'd be like, hands behind your back, sir.
Can we get
Jose, Juan, I don't care. Hands behind your back.
Can we get Dean to do it as Superman and I'll do it as Schoolboy from Rambo?
1,000%.
Imagine that.
So I'll just go ahead and spill the beans to the audience. I was talking to Dean Cain because he is joining ICE and I'm trying to get him on the show for an interview. And so when I have him on, we need to propose that to him.
Yeah, I texted him immediately yesterday and I was like, hey.
Oh my God. Oh, I texted him. Oh, I'm a famous Hollywood actor. I know everyone. I just texted him.
I texted Dean yesterday, and because I think he's a massive patriot. He's already a law enforcement officer.
Yes.
So he gets
for a long time.
Yeah. So he gets to get in. Anyway, I'm not sure what the age limit is. I will be over it. You won't be over it, Sarah. Okay.
Well, I am 29 forever. So.
Yes. So, but I did say to him, I was like, I don't think there would be anything better than a legal immigrant And of course, someone with the name Gonzalez, like rolling up on these people and arresting them.
Yeah, it was cool when Dr. Phil went on a ride along, but I think it'll be more cool when it's us.
We can get into it.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to be on the sidelines asking people, interviewing them. So how does this make you feel? Like, I just want to be the one to do it. So it's a little bit different.
Go roll up at Home Depot.
Oh,
It'd be
absolutely.
amazing.
Oh my gosh. My favorite thing is the left. We played that clip a while ago. It was some chick on MSNBC or something. Casey something or other. I don't know. Casey Hunt. Gotta be careful when you say that name.
I was like, where did you get that from?
I think that's her name. But she's like, people didn't vote for. I mean, maybe it was Jessica Tarlov. I don't remember. But it's like people didn't vote for ICE to be rolling up at Home Depots and getting illegals. I'm like, the hell they didn't. We did. Yes, we did. That's exactly what I voted for. I am very happy with that. But another thing that I voted for, I feel pretty safe to say you did too, when it comes to just undoing all of the wrongs of the Biden administration, the Obama administration, all of this deep state bullshit, is that the FBI has now purged 3 more deep state actors from the top levels of the federal government. Here's this Daily Mail article. Trump starts firing purge of top FBI agents opposed to his administration as they decry retribution. Now, I'll let you be the judge. If you think that this is retribution and they don't have a valid reason to be fired. This is Brian Driscoll, Stephen Jensen, and Walter Giardina. Now, Brian Driscoll, let me tell you about him. He was a former FBI acting director appointed in January 2025, and he was replaced by Kash Patel. So he was appointed in January 2025, replaced by Kash. Don't need him. Just don't need him. No reason for him anymore. Stephen Jensen, acting director of the FBI's Washington field office. And he, let me just tell you, heavily involved in the January 6th investigation.
See that.
Gone. No, thank you. We don't need that anymore. No, we're not into political persecution, at least of the right.
Listen, this needed to happen. In fact, it's not enough. I mean, they need to go through the FBI with a fine tooth comb because nobody trusts them anymore.
No. And with very good reason.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, when we have questions about, sorry, but Kash and Dan, and I love both of them. I now have questions that I would like answers to. I do hope, and I am cautiously optimistic that I will get those answers, right? But I do have questions now. At the very top levels, certainly the holdouts from below that definitely need to go. That brings me to Walter Giardina, this third one, a special agent who investigated the Trump advisor Peter Navarro, and he also played a significant role in Crossfire Hurricane. Yes. Which was extremely illegal. Special counsel Mueller's investigation, he was a part of that as well, and the Dan Scavino, Roger Stone, and Hillary Clinton cases. So apparently there was a press release back in June from Senate Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley's office. And according to whistleblowers, Giardina was an initial recipient of the Steele dossier and falsely said that the report was corroborated as true. He stated openly his animosity towards President Trump and made known his personal motivation to investigate Trump, and electronically wiped the laptop he was assigned while working for special counsel Mueller outside of established protocol for record preservation, raising the possibility that he destroyed government records. Oh, by the way, he instructed agents to use false emolument clause predication on President Trump to, quote, dig around. Also was a case agent assigned to the Crimson River case, later changed to the Red Masari. This case was leaked roughly 90 days before the presidential election in an attempt to falsely discredit President Trump. I want you to pay close attention to the last sentence that I uttered, at least the last part of it. In an attempt to falsely discredit President Trump. That means they knew that it was not true and they wanted to discredit him anyway. Now, if you don't believe that there are, you know what? I think it would be low to say hundreds more just like him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're talking thousands more just like him, because that's what happens in big government. There are thousands more just like him. If you don't believe that they are still there, you're crazy. This has to be, I mean, remember, we were saying before the election, burn the whole thing down. Mm-hmm. Burn the whole damn thing down. And so I am hopeful that it's like, okay, if we're releasing top, like high level people who were involved in all that type of thing, and now we're like, you're fired, I am hopeful that that is going to trickle down. It just can't stop here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what they're going to do. Look, when COVID happened and all those great patriots said, I'm not taking the vaccine, and they got booted out of the army, they got booted out of police forces, they got booted out of the FBI, that there are some good people that took the vaccine that stayed in, but what they did was they basically alienated and got rid of anyone that might really stand up against the people that are above them that might be corrupt, right? And I think that's a really important thing to note. So what you do, you get rid of these people who stand up for what they believe in, that have morals, and then you've got to bring other people in, right?
Yeah.
So who do you bring in, especially if you know who the top brass are? I had a long conversation with my friend Tim Clemente, who's in the FBI for a long time. I know a bunch of FBI agents, and I know a lot of them that left. In the same way I know a lot of people in the military that got to colonel, and they're like, we don't want to go and become a general because all of a sudden that becomes a political thing. You know, I have to kiss the ring. And that's not the way it should be. I mean, we see it with DEI. What we need to get back to is impartiality and people that are good at their job. Like just simply, I mean, and the DEI thing is a massive problem. I mean, wait until you see the amount of females that were promoted and female, I hate to say it, minorities that were promoted in a very short period of time.
I mean, you had me at female minorities. Oof.
I mean, it's a double whammy, right?
Oof.
I'm not even going to say the third one. I'm not even going to say the third aspect of it, but it is a major problem. And when you also have to look at who the recruiting was targeting over the past few years. And in the same way, like my son wanted to go to West Point, and then he didn't want to go to West Point anymore. And why didn't he want to go to West Point? Because if you guys remember, there was the kid there that opened his shirt and he was wearing like some communist thing underneath, and then the wokeism, the bringing in of transgenders, that actually stopped for a good 5 years at least of good kids that would have gone into the military. In the same way, it stopped good people from joining the FBI, because normally it's patriots. So I think the FBI mainly recruits from, if I'm correct, now you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, like mainly from places like Notre Dame and Brigham Young. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. That's what my friend told me, is that they're very heavily recruiting from people who have religious conviction. Not that I'd say this as a Catholic, like Notre Dame. It's not really a religious place. It certainly wouldn't be considered Catholic anymore. But it does lend to a backbone of morals. And I think that is kind of gone.
Yeah.
Now, and we need to get back to that. Like, it's a vocation, right? You want to do what's good and help people. And I think we've got, for the past, at least since Obama, we've got a bunch of people coming in that they don't care about that.
Yeah. Well, and I was just going through some of the old monologues that I had given during the Biden administration. And I was like, man, there was a lot more to talk about then, because there was a lot of evil going on. And President Trump himself has stopped a lot of that with just like a pen, right? And an executive order, which is great. But there are still things that are plaguing not just the Trump administration, but any administration, a J.D. Vance administration. I mean, any administration that doesn't kiss the ring, any administration that, of course, is trying to clean the mess up that is in D.C. rather than extend their powers that are already abused. And so one of the ways that they are doing that is in the FBI, of course, and the DOJ, where they still have to take out the rot. Looking at you, Pam Bondi, maybe spend a little less time on Fox News and a little more time taking all of your deep state agents out and rooting them out. But another place that they're doing it that we've talked about all the time is, of course, these federal judges that are overstepping their bounds. You had the Supreme Court who ruled, who had to rule because you had these district judges that were coming in and trying to tell President Trump he couldn't do something nationwide. And it's like, you don't have the authority to even rule on something like that for the entire nation. So stay in your lane type thing. Well, I just saw this headline today. Federal judge halts expansion at Trump administration's Alligator Alcatraz detention facility in Florida. They halted. So this says, the judge said for now that the facility can continue to hold migrant detainees, but cannot add any new infrastructure capacity. Isn't that so interesting, Matt? Isn't it so funny that these federal judges are coming in and they're saying, no, you have to send this foreign aid to these places. You cannot, as the highest executive in the country, you can't tell us where the money is going to go. So you can't make the decision to stop sending taxpayer money to all of these foreign places that taxpayers don't want their money spent towards. But I can tell you that you cannot spend taxpayer money to get a handle on all of these illegals and build an infrastructure to get them the hell out. And it's crazy.
But then what they also do is complain about the conditions. I'd pile them up 6 deep.
Yep.
I wouldn't give a shit.
Yep.
I mean, the problem is this. Number one, where's this money coming from? I'll tell you this right now, with the defunding of USAID, that has gone. We will find out, it will come out in time, how that was funneling. I know we've seen it already, but how that was funneling money into these leftist organizations. That's what it was. I mean, the American taxpayers are basically being betrayed, right? So it's not all about Sesame Street, right? Don't believe what they say, right? It's
also they like made Elmo gay or something. So who cares if it is about Sesame? I mean, don't let your kids watch it.
Yeah, but I mean,
Elmo's not gay, but I think there's a gay. There's something about gay.
Well, this is the problem, and I was actually talking to someone about this, just a little segue, about what's going on in the movie industry right now, is that people saying, oh, it's fatigue. You don't know anymore. Whatever movie you go and see, if you go and see Buzz Lightyear, they just can't help themselves but put something subversive in there. So people are just saying, do you know what? After 10 years of you guys doing this, we're not going to take it anymore. I'm just absolutely done, right? So here's the thing, Sarah. Until we get to the absolute bottom of who is funding these judges' campaigns and getting to the root cause of it. Look, we know this. We know the way that in years gone by, if you wanted to get a drug dealer, you let the little fish go, right? You would, the FBI or the DEA are bringing a case, and what they're doing is they're going for the big fish. They're going for the big knocker. Why aren't we doing this right now? Why? Because we know who one of them is,
right,
that's done this for a very long time. And I've been scratching my head for years. And by the way, don't get me on this, because nothing happened about the IRS, which should have been closed, right? Because what they did to especially conservatives and Catholic charities, the way they targeted them, nothing happened. And the one thing that I see over and over and over and over again on social media is there have been no arrests. There have been no arrests over COVID. There have been no arrests over the IRS targeting. There's been no arrests over Epstein. We can just go on and on and on.
Yeah.
And it's going to take something massively radical, which I think what we're seeing right now is that, like Pete Hegseth going, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and do what I need to do. I don't care.
Right.
And that is what is needed. But Sarah, it's just to get it back to normal.
Right. And the amount of years that it's going to take to get there is...
And will. Yeah. Once Trump's gone...
Yeah. It's going to... Like, we're going to need J.D. Vance.
We have to have J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
They will undo it in 5 seconds flat.
Which is why I'm saying, like, it's great that... I love that there is, some days I'm like, I don't even know what I want to talk about, because, like, President Trump has made things so much better. But then it's like, that is the one thing that it's like, well, Congress, what the hell are you doing? Codify this stuff. These federal judges that shouldn't even be, because you guys have the ability to go in there and undo the power that they have. Go do that, right? Like, stop letting this happen. Help him out. Help a brother out just a little bit, okay? He's doing a lot of the work. If you could just do like a small percentage of that to help him out, that'd be great. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. All like whoever the hell heads the IRS, I don't know who it is. Get rid of all of these blowhards. All right, let's go ahead and take another quick break. We will be back with more, but I want to tell you guys about CBDistillery's VIP sale. It is happening right now. For a few days only, you can save up to 50%, 50, that's 50%, on everything with code VIP. So if you guys, I know there's like a lot of, I think it's the older generation, which typically is wiser. So I'm not like trying to be rude, but I think there's a lot of misconceptions about what CBD is and what CBD is not. It's not, it doesn't have, like, you're not going to get high, but they've got like actual compounds for better sleep, for less stress, and for pain relief after exercise. So if you're suffering from any of those issues, please go to their website and go see. They've got CBD for pets as well. It's 100% clean ingredients. We have this at home. I love it. It works well. I need it for sleep. I also need it for stress. And I also need it for pain after exercise. So I'm using the gamut of all of them. Okay. And they all work really, really well. So make sure if you're tossing and turning at night or you're struggling with another health concern, go check them out. Now is the time with this VIP sale going on. CBDistillery.com. Enter code VIP. That is, again, up to 50, half off everything. That is CBDistillery.com. Promo code VIP. So I think South Park is like daring conservatives to like get really angry about the episodes that they're doing. They just released another episode making fun of President Trump and conservatives. Maybe they're trying to get a reaction out of Trump. I don't know. They've got 2 episodes so far in season 27 that just came out. Both have been focused solely around mocking Republicans. The first episode, did you watch it?
No.
Okay, we saw it. It has President Trump laying in bed with Satan, similar to, who was it, Stephen?
It's mocking the Saddam Hussein because the characters are the same.
Yeah, like Satan is the same. The whole act is the same thing. Like
Trump's voice is the same as Saddam Hussein's was.
Yeah, like it's reminiscent of that. And then episode 2 mocked DHS Secretary Kristi Noem and, of course, her physical appearance. And the episode includes a bit on ICE raiding heaven. And then, yeah. And I love that you're laughing because, like, that's the point, is I think that they want to get us all pissed off. And it's pretty funny. They have Vice President J.D. Vance, who entered the South Park realm as Trump's servant. So you see him there. He's very little. Those of you who are listening on audio podcasts, he's like a little, what are the
Munchkin.
Yeah, munchkins are like Oompa Loompa. That's what I was thinking. Oompa Loompa.
But I think it's from not orange though. Oompa Loompas are orange.
What's that show with the zip-plane? What was that?
Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
What was his name now?
I just sounded really stupid for a second because you looked at me like I was
Tattoo.
Really
Like,
what are you talking about?
It was Tattoo, wasn't it?
There was never a show that did that, Sarah. You just sound stupid. No, it was.
I was trying to interpret what you were saying. Zip-plane.
Okay, all right. Let's play this clip of Trump and Vance really quick.
What is it fantasy, Bob?
There.
Hey, will you
So,
get out of here?
Yeah. There. Yeah. So that's all right. You know, it's like, okay, but I just think it's funny because instead of being instantly offended like the left is, I think they're just so used to the left being like, nothing's funny anymore. You can't offend people. That's not funny. J.D. Vance was like, well, I finally made it. He posted it himself and was like, I finally made it. I'm a character in South Park. That's awesome. And DHS actually used a photo from the latest episode for a Twitter marketing campaign. Join.ice.gov is what they wrote with that. So, like, we don't take offense to jokes. We think comedy is comedy, and that's not going to upset us. So I don't know if maybe South Park is just like desperate for attention, but they didn't joke about President Biden. Do you know that?
Yeah, but I actually think quite the opposite.
What do you think?
I think that they know that we can take a joke. I really do. And I think that they are, because they're equal opportunists, right? They'll go after, apart from President Biden, they'll go after anybody. I would say that, don't forget that they have overlords there.
There is a connection to Hunter Biden with South Park because the show's lawyer is also the guy who funded Hunter Biden's legal defenses. His name is Kevin Morris. Yeah, there's that. Who is Kevin Morris? Hunter Biden's sugar brother lawyer. He's given millions to President Joe Biden's troubled son, but made bank through working with South Park's creators. So isn't it so interesting that Hunter Biden's buddy is South Park's attorney, and I didn't see a bunch of President Biden jokes happening.
Yeah, I mean, but
it would have been way funnier too, by the way, because the guy was like half dead.
Yeah, but again, I mean, it just shows you that we can take it. I remember my granddad. So just so you guys know, over in the UK, there's a joke where they say an Englishman, Irishman, and a Scotsman walk in a bar. And normally the Englishman's the great guy. Scotsman's normally tight with his money. And the Irishman's normally the idiot. And growing up with my grandfather being my father figure in my life, I said to him once, I said, Granddad, because you're a kid, you're trying to figure it out, right? I said, why do they always mock the Irish? And he looked at me and he said, because we can take it. And I love that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's exactly the same here. Like, we don't get offended by those things. I think that, I mean, even we understand that is what they do, right? Sure. Like, they are satirists. That's why we can sit there and have people roast us.
Yeah, comedy you're not supposed to shield anyone from comedy. Nothing is off the table.
Yeah.
Everyone should be made fun of.
And
that's the whole point.
By the way, if you notice on social media as well, people go, why are you crying? And I'm like, what are you talking
about? Yeah.
Oh, you're so emotional. I'm like, no, actually,
right.
not. I mean, listen, we get passionate about things, right? You get passionate. Normally, it's about things that you should get passionate about, things that you should be outraged about.
Right.
They don't. They get pissed off at everything. So I actually don't think this is South Park looking for attention. I think if you look at the majority of their stuff, they're pretty conservative. I really do. I think there might be libertarian conservative, but they're pretty conservative, and they just
should have given them more of a reason to make fun of Joe Biden.
Yeah, but they make fun of everybody else. I mean, I do understand to a degree, like, unfortunately, that this is why we need to fund conservative media, so you don't have the overlords in place that stop people from putting this stuff out. I'm just saying. So you never know. I mean, they've gone against, I think it's Comedy Central is their main, which is kind of funny. Like I've always said that.
It's Paramount Plus now.
Well, that'll change then, because they're being bought by Skydance, which is the Ellisons, who are conservative.
Oh,
so that's going to change.
Interesting. Okay.
So the big daddy, is going to be, well, even if they're not, conservative, they are people that just go, we want to make money. We don't want to be into this. We don't want to be pushing the agenda.
Right.
And that's what we mean. I love South Park. I think it's absolutely hilarious.
It's funny. It is funny. It is. Now, part of me is like, I just like to watch this because when I was younger and it came out, I wasn't allowed to. My parents didn't let me.
Well, you had good parents.
And now, I did have good parents. I mean, I still
do have good parents. No, but your parents were great back then. I mean, but we need to, I feel like I'm flogging this horse. We've got to make content. We've got to
Does that mean beat a dead horse?
Yeah. Flog a dead horse. You never heard that before?
Flogging? No, that just sounds like, way more graphic.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I feel bad for the horse now. I never felt bad for the horse when you said beat a dead horse. I'm like, yeah, I know. You say flog. I feel like I'm flogging the horse. That's like, gosh, that's really rude.
If the horse is dead, the horse doesn't.
Why? Well, I'm pissed at you that you killed the horse.
The horse was already dead. I didn't take it to the glue factory.
It's your fault. Honestly, it's
French.
your fault.
I'm not eating it.
You flogged it. It's your fault that it's dead. So I hope that you live with that guilt. Anywho, let's go ahead and take a quick break. And then an update on a little bit of what we were talking about earlier when we return. So we were talking about, George Soros funding all of these things and there being no accountability. And let's have some accountability into all of these bad actors who are funding all of these, bad acts. Well, Attorney General Ken Paxton here in the state of Texas just posted this. Breaking, I've just launched an investigation into a Soros-funded PAC for unlawfully funding runaway Democrats. If Texas lawmakers are bowing to the Soros slush fund rather than the will of the voters, Texans deserve to know. So that is, of course, the second investigation that he has. So he's just announced it's the Soros-funded PAC, the Texas Majority PAC. And also, you've got his investigation into Beto's Powered by the People, or when I was talking to Mitch Little, we thought it was called politicaldouchebag.com, but it turns out that it's like powered by the something or other. I don't really know. I don't really care to learn. But there may be some accountability for these organizations, for these PACs, at least here in the state of Texas, when it comes to these organizations that are funding the Democrats breaking the rules and essentially breaking the law here in the state of Texas and preventing official business from being done.
Look, I don't understand how this guy has funded things for decades now. I mean, this isn't just like over the past few years. This is, we all know. In fact, I remember watching Glenn Beck when he was on Fox and him say that the Soros attorney approached him at a restaurant. Do you remember this? Yeah, because he used to call him Spooky Dude, right?
Yeah, I've heard him call him Spooky Dude. He also calls him Pepperoni Eyes. Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Well, he was talking about it, and next thing you know, Glenn is not at Fox anymore, and he moved on. But he was doing a deep dive into Soros. I mean, how long ago? Like 15 years ago? Yeah. He's been talking about this for years. And like everyone's kind of, this is why I keep going on and on and on and on and on about having engagement, following you, following me, because we need to keep putting this in front of people's eyes, right? Because, we're busy, we're doing other things and we get on with our lives. We don't realize that these people never sleep. They literally hang upside down, right? Like vampires and carry on, and they just carry on. Literally.
No, they literally hang upside down? I'm a little impressed by that, if I'm being honest. That shows great leg strength.
Well, not if you're just hanging.
And also not if you're a vampire.
Yeah, not if you're a vampire. It's kind of with the territory. But look, by the way, again, we can't love Ken Paxton. We don't love Ken Paxton enough.
It's true.
Like, he is...
And those bastards tried to take him from us, Matt. I will never forget that. I will never forget that. You tried to impeach the greatest damn attorney general in the entire country, and I will never forget that.
But what we are willing to do is give him up to replace a rhino. We will let him do that. We will let him go for the betterment of the rest of the country. Mm-hmm. So don't believe any of the bullshit. Vote for Ken Paxton. We love Ken. But
we love Ken,
but he never stops, does he? Like every night he's like, boom, I'm going to bring this suit. Boom, I'm going to do this. Boom. I wish he was our attorney general.
Yeah, well, the
country. Of the country?
Yeah, I know.
Did the DOJ?
Yeah, it's funny because John Cornyn keeps trying to, I mean, who can blame John Cornyn? Like, buddy, you're about to lose. So I understand why he's pulling out all the stops. But I guess he tried to say like, oh, Ken Paxton is on a European vacation while all this is going on. I'm like, I don't really care because he's getting shit done still. If he can get shit done from Europe and he's already launching an investigation into Beto and George Soros and winning cases, I don't really care where the hell he is. You wouldn't know it, and that's what actually matters.
Well, he never stops working. And it's this weird thing. It's like, it's the same thing when people say things on...
You just...